themselves in the foot for an entire night, and then immediately were like, no, wait, never mind.
Yeah. They were like, we need to burn it all down. Wait, rebuild the building.
Irreparable damage has been done to Twitch. I mean, like, people are already moving to, like, Kick and stuff. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of live streams. I'm more of a edited content type of guy myself, but I partake in a live stream every now and then. And, like, I don't want to go to Kick. I don't want to go to Twitch either, really. I mostly watch YouTube lives. But, I mean, you know.
I'm big into Game Grumps, but I usually don't watch anything on Twitch because I don't like the weird platform stuff.
Yeah.
I get lost in there because I'm an old man.
Mm-hmm. I don't really look at a lot of comment sections, and so it's kind of annoying to see chat sometimes. Like, I think you can turn that off, but, like, a lot of streamers interact with chat, so it's kind of, you don't like want to miss anything that's being said, I guess. I don't know. But welcome back, everybody, to Uncommon Nonsense with Colin Payne. That's me. And I'm joined by the Bullfrog, Jeremiah.
Ribbit.
Got Jeremiah down in my dingy, creepy basement. And we're going to talk about some stuff.
I am half naked and tied to a chair.
Yeah, as always. I mean,
against my will, but also with my will.
At about halftime, I'll go get the bucket and the bucket of water to put your feet in, and then the car battery for your nipples, and we'll just see how that unfolds. But I think that content wise, it's gonna be really great.
I am so excited for that part.
All right, so I know personally that you are a little bit of a gamer, like most people. I think you're hard pressed to find somebody that just has no interaction with video games at all, you know?
I agree. We live in a weird time, and video games are fun.
Yeah, they are fun. Particularly, I think it's fun. I don't know. There's something very intriguing about when a big budget game goes really wacky. Like, for instance, in most recent, this will date when the podcast is recorded. I don't know how recent it is when this is going up. But Gollum, the new Lord of the Rings Gollum game came out.
Oh, the little trash factory that could?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough.
It's pretty rough. And like I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that like the day after they released the Gollum game, the studio released a public apology for like how like gross Gollum looks, I guess.
I mean, yeah. That is most of his character. He's just looking like a horrible little monster.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like they did make him extra gross looking in that game.
I've not reviewed any of the content, but I've heard that it looks PlayStation 3 adjacent.
It does. He walks around kind of like a frog. It's weird, and like I don't know. I haven't played the game, but I just know that it got absolutely review bombed. And a game that I have played, one of these big budget kind of mishaps that I've personally experienced is Assassin's Creed Unity. Do you remember that whole shebang?
I do indeed.
Yeah, with particularly the guy's invisible fucking face. Yep. That you would get a cutscene and it would just have his eyes and teeth. I saw that firsthand.
Very visceral. Yes, I've seen cuts of that.
It was horrible.
Because I played some of the OG Assassin's Creed stuff, and
it was hilarious. But I mean, like, how, I understand that making games are hard, and that's kind of like that's going to be kind of a theme of this episode. We're going to talk a lot about games and how making games is hard. I've never tried to make a game, but from a creative standpoint, right? When you come at something with like this grandiose idea, I think a lot of people don't realize what all it takes, you know what I mean, to make said grandiose ideas actually like function in a cohesive way in a game.
The hours and hours of time it takes.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about a specific tale. Okay? So I have two tales for you these are two stories that I have looked into a little bit just because this concept is intriguing to me. I don't want to come at it as like a haha, these things didn't work, but more so just I want to talk about how interesting a failure to properly prepare and plan or properly consider things, how interesting that can turn out and like, the ramifications of it. So I know personally you're a big Minecraft guy.
I do indeed enjoy the craft.
It's addicting.
It is.
There's something so blissfully warm and tender about loading up a fresh save on Minecraft and hearing that piano and just, maybe you build a little wooden house and it's just so I love it. I love the game.
There is something incredibly special about it.
Yeah.
I've played it for well over a decade, and I've been playing all the modded stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many mods on the computer.
The modding community goes crazy for Minecraft.
Just absurd. I have a magic book that lets me summon wolves and fly.
Yeah, there's like all the crazy weapons and stuff people make, and like, I don't know, it is insane. But a big part of the Minecraft community is obviously Minecraft content creators, right? And I would say like the pioneering channel for Minecraft content was the Yogscast. I mean, I could be wrong. When I was younger, I was not hugely into the Yogscast. Like when they were actively making their content, I was more of a Sky Does Minecraft kid. I don't know if that informs anything about me, but he ran into some trouble too, but that's a whole different episode. But essentially, the Yogscast guys were a huge staple in the Minecraft community. And I mean, on YouTube, they pioneered the Minecraft YouTuber. Like, they walked so the Minecraft YouTuber could run. You know what I mean? You got, like, your Tommy Innits and, like, your George Not Founds or whatever, who is also controversial right now. There's a lot of them that are.
I mean, it's a pretty big genre.
It is.
I like Hermitcraft. I like Lagundo. Mm-hmm. And Forge Labs.
Yeah, Forge Labs is pretty solid. I watch a good amount of Forge Labs, I'll be honest.
Shout out to that weirdo.
Yeah.
If you ever pop in for a listen, I like how absurd you are and how lost you get in your own sauce.
For sure. Absolutely lost in that sauce. I have a little bit of something interesting thing that happened. And I mean, this is from my understanding based on the little bit of like research that I've done. So Yogscast tried to make a game.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. They essentially, from my understanding, they were invited to a Minecon, like Minecraft, the big Minecraft convention with, and at the time, Notch was still, the head guy.
Still doing his thing.
They hadn't sold it to.
Maybe this year I'll let the camels come out.
Right.
And tease it for 5+ years.
Come to my cool house with a candy room in it.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
Oh, yeah. He's got a whole room of just like candy dispensing machines in his basement in his house or something.
I feel like he'd be a Pez guy. He'd have all those weird Pez heads.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just a whole wall of
He's
them.
a Pez fan.
Yeah.
Pez heads.
Pez heads. Yeah.
So the Yogscast guys get invited to Minecon, and they went, and then from my understanding, Notch is the one that kind of initiated the altercation. But he made like a tweet that was like along the lines of like, I'm very disappointed in the talent that we had like come out to Minecon. They asked, like, we won't be working with them again because they had like asked to be paid to appear, and like nobody that like wasn't like a thing, I guess, and they were just like rude. I don't know. I don't want to paint the Yogscast in a bad light. You know what I mean? Those guys, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? But the Yogscast kind of did like a response where they said, oh, we are disappointed in Minecon. We probably won't be returning. Like, it was not handled correctly, like all this stuff. And then, I guess through PR managers doing their thing and like reaching out to each other, they kind of came to a resolution. And then Notch made a tweet that was like, I apologize. I believe that the issue was caused from a misunderstanding. And like, I hope that there's no ill will or like whatever. But the Yogscast guys were not happy with what had transpired.
They were like, Notch, we want your money and we don't want your apology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they did was they said, Minecraft is a huge part of our brand and like what has made us popular. But what if we had our own game and we didn't have to play Notch's game?
Okay.
So they cook up their idea for Yog Ventures, which was going to be essentially a Minecraft clone, with blocks, crafting, and like other items too, apparently. But I think it had a more like adventure based outlook as opposed to like a sandbox one. I could be wrong. The game obviously didn't come out, and we'll talk about why.
It might still come out.
Maybe
It could.
in an alternate universe, it already did come out, and it might be really good. In an alternate universe, it came out and it's really bad too.
This is all true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they they hired a studio to make Yog Ventures that had never made a game before. They were like a freshly started indie developer that had never actually made a game. They'd worked on games but never made a game themselves as a team, from my understanding.
Bold choice.
So they put some money towards this team, and then the Yogscast guys are like, well, this is going to be a big endeavor. So they put together a Kickstarter. And like the video had like the dwarf character guy running around in like this faux Minecrafty looking area, and the dude's talking about how exciting it's going to be to have their own game. And then the video literally ends with them going, in your face, Notch, in your face. So obviously
Perfect.
they were still kind of hurt by whatever had transpired.
Being very mature about it too.
Yeah, very mature. So they hired this studio, and they have all these ideas for this game. And from my understanding, the way that this studio decided to handle putting this team together was they didn't necessarily sign like official contracts or anything. They like gave them a bit, like essentially like freelance, like gave them a deposit and were like, do this for the game. Here's your money, like kind of up front. And a couple people like ended up dropping out of the project for different reasons. I think one of them was working for LucasArts as well at the time, and couldn't get permission from LucasArts to also work on this Yogg's Ventures game. So he backed out. Essentially, through misfortune, like just not proper planning. And the thing is that at one point they even and I could be missing a bit of context or whatever, but from what I read, at one point they even tried to say that it was because the game didn't make enough money that it didn't come to fruition. Mind you, their Kickstarter raised $500,000, 3 times their goal to make this game.
Hmm.
So
That seems like enough.
yeah, to me, I mean, I've never made a game, but it wasn't it wasn't a super ambitious game. I mean, I obviously wasn't on the dev team. I don't know what all they were asking, but if it's a Minecraft clone with some Yogscast paint on it, it can't be that expensive, right?
I mean, the base game of Minecraft is what, 25 years old?
Yeah.
So the blueprint is out there.
Oh, it's out there. And I mean, there's millions of Minecraft clones. There were Minecraft clones there were clones of Minecraft. You know what I mean? Like it's nuts. I don't know how it went so belly up, but the way the story ends is no game was made through the unfortunate series of events with Lemony Snicket.
Oh.
The team dissolves. The company that was making the game dissolves completely. And the guy who was running it was like the lead developer. And he was so dead set on finishing this Yogscast game. He became like obsessed. his wife filed for a divorce. So he got a divorce, lost his company, and never was able to finish the game. And apparently, like, he has recently started up the company again. Because, like, this was a couple years ago. You know what I mean? This was a while ago. But he apparently has, like, started the company up again as, like, just him, as, like, a single indie developer. Which, I mean, I wish him well. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, there are some games that have done very well as single developer games.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
one of my personal favorites is Stardew Valley.
Oh, yeah. Dude, people love Stardew Valley.
I think it was only like one guy or a very small team that did all of Stardew Valley in one go, and they were just like, "Here it is, this little gold nugget."
That's pretty nuts. Sometimes you need a little gold nugget, you know?
Sometimes you do. I played the shit out of that game.
I've never played Stardew Valley, but it looks very fun.
I have so many chickens. So many.
chickens. But yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, Yogscast, I'm pretty sure they still make Minecraft content.
Do they
You know what I
really?
mean? I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
I haven't. You know, hey, let's do a quick check. I'll
Ooh.
go right now.
Oh, he's going into his files.
I'm going into
He's
my.
pulling out that long drawer from Bruce Almighty. Wow, it keeps going.
Oh my god, dude! There's so many names in here. Let's see. Yogscast in the YouTube search bar.
Processing data.
Yogscast, Lewis and Simon. Oh no, maybe they don't make Minecraft anymore. I don't see any Minecraft, but I think they continued to make Minecraft for a while before they did their switch over. But hey, man. And I mean, like, all this, like, I don't want to, like, paint them in, like, a horrendous light. I mean, stuff happens, and I obviously don't have the full context of the situation. It just feels like that's a lot of support from your fan base to go completely belly up.
To let thousands of people down? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's big rough.
They did return, like, a lot, like, the investments and stuff, and they sent out, like, physical rewards that they could, but I mean, still a very messy situation, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that if somebody gave me $500,000 to get a project done and I gave them nothing, yeah, I'd probably lose my fan base.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't imagine it to be that different than just Minecraft. Like, what would they, what did the podcast, I'm sorry. What did the Yogscast boys possibly ask for that could have made it not, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just an experience on the devs, or because I think also the lead dev was, like, working a normal job. They were also, like, they were just, like, working jobs, and this was, like, a part-time thing, was they were going to make this game. Which, like, I don't know. Making games is difficult. But if someone's giving me $500,000 to make a Minecraft clone, you know what I mean? I don't know how to code, but if that's like we'll reel it back. I mean, obviously recording a podcast and editing it is not nearly as difficult, I would argue, as making a video game, right? But if someone gave me a fraction of that, say $500, and said make like 5 episodes about these topics, you know what I mean? I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's generally how goods and services work.
Not to be like not to be like a sellout, but like I just feel like if that's what you're if I'm promoting like what I do, you know what I mean? And like fans, these are fans that rack together $500,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, not like a paid subscription, nothing. This is like, hey, we want to do this thing.
And these are just kids that watch fucking Minecraft videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's super rough.
It is.
You see, the first step is to open the jar. The next step is to put it in a little bowl. And then you put barbecue sauce on my titties. And that's how you get the sauce.
I want to present to you a thought. It gets a little worse.
Oh.
And so before we go down that rabbit hole, I want to present you a thought experiment.
I like those.
I'm going to say some words and some concepts. Okay? and I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind, like your immediate reaction, whether if it's a feeling, if it's a word, like a place, like whatever immediately comes to mind, just pop it out, you know?
All right.
Freshly baked bread.
Delicious.
Baby brown bear.
Adorable.
2 fish swimming side by side in a clear stream.
Pisces.
A large stack of bananas sitting in a setting sun.
Disgusting. I don't like bananas by themselves. With strawberries, delicious. By themselves, absolutely awful. Don't look at me with those bananas.
Real shade of bananas.
Hey, you don't like pickles? I don't like bananas. We gotta draw the line somewhere.
Skyrim's Meridia's Beacon.
Oh my god. The worst and most annoying quest line I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Fair.
I like the sword. I hate that ball just doesn't leave you alone.
No.
I got other shit to do, Meridia.
Sends you right into the sky.
I don't want to. Stop.
And last but not least, science-based 100% dragon MMO.
Excuse me? You want to try that one again?
Yeah, I can run it by you one more time.
Okay.
Science-based 100% dragon MMO.
It sounds like my dream, but a figment of reality, because I've never heard of that actually existing.
See, and this is why I thought that you would really like this, because this seems like something that's just straight up your alley, right?
I am a little obsessed with dragons.
So if you've perused on the Reddit for a while, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably seen that be commented on r/gaming posts. And so that was one of the things that I saw, and I wanted to dig deeper. I want to be like, what the hell are they talking about, right?
All right.
So a while back, a Reddit user, I believe the name was like Hobo Goddess or something. I could look it up, but I don't think that the account is even active anymore. It's worthless.
I like Hobo Goddess.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I'd subscribe to.
So Hobo Goddess made a post in r/gaming that the basic gist of it was, hey guys, I'm a 26-year-old female that is new to game development, and my first game that is a science-based 100% dragon MMO is in beta. And I'll give you guys, or like it's gonna be in beta soon, and I'll give you guys a link, you know, so you can like keep up with the project. And with this Reddit post was an image, and let me just find this for you.
I'm very excited. Just a little nod to dragons. I don't believe they exist. I really want them to exist. And there's a lot of foundation for them to exist, but I think it's all based off of people finding fossils and being like, huh, that kind of looks like a giant lizard. What if it had wings and did other stuff? And there's history of dragons on literally every continent, from several different cultures and races, and it's just a real cool thing that we all want to be real, but probably isn't. Or they were just dinosaurs. You found it?
I did find it, and I agree with you. I wish the dragons were real. I think that would be awesome.
I think they should be our new lizard overlords.
We
don't need a Biden or a Trump. We need a dragon in charge.
Exactly. I agree. I did find the original post. I thought that it was gone. I thought that it would be gone by now, but it's still here. So I was almost correct. What did I call her? Hobo Queen or something?
Sounds right.
Homeless Queen.
Hobo Princess.
Her name was Queen of Hobo Queen of Hobo Jungle.
Hobo Jungle.
Yeah.
Queen of the Hobo Jungle.
So Queen of Hobo Jungle, 11 years ago. 11 years ago. In r/gaming.
That's a while. Yeah.
Dear Internet, I'm a 26-year-old lady who's been developing a science-based 100% Dragon MMO for the last 2 years. I'm finally making my beta website now and using my 3D work as a base to create my 50-plus concept images. Wish me luck, Reddit. You'll be the first to see the site when it's finished. So I hit the nail pretty much on the head. I mean, I summarized it pretty correctly.
Yeah.
But this image, I will put it on the screen. I'm going to save it to my phone now so that I have it.
Oh, it's that special, huh?
I've never seen anything like it.
Are you gonna put it on the screen for the podcasters out there?
It's on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching or like listening on Spotify, I love you, but I'm sorry. I'll give you a good description in a moment. But for the YouTubers, the YouTube folk, it's going on the screen right now. I'm showing it to Jeremiah. I want you to take that in.
Oh my.
So Jeremiah, what you're looking at is an image of, I think, 7 green dragons dispersed in random places on a grassy knoll.
I think that one up front is dead.
It's very skull-like in its appearance. It doesn't have eyes.
Nope, it does not.
So these images, there's others, but none of them hit quite as hard as that one.
They look like 3D rendered models without any texture, flesh, nothing on them.
That's exactly what they are. They're 3D rendered dragon shapes made out of basic shapes mashed together to make dragons, placed into a 3D. It's like a 3D like a 3D world type of like virtual reality type of thing. I mean, not virtual reality, but like it's like it's a rendering software for landscaping.
Oh.
So
okay.
If you look closely,
like AutoCAD adjacent,
the tree shadows are super polygonal.
They
and
are.
Like not because it's meant to just give you an idea of like, hey, if this is the landscape you're working with, this is what it could look like. Yeah. And so she admitted that this was a landscaping software in further posts and stuff. But essentially, people on Reddit hooked onto this post.
Well, they absolutely destroyed her, or were they so excited?
I mean, it was a good mix of both. Huh. A lot of people were giving like helpful advice, like, hey, I used to be a game dev and like, I don't know. Like, here's what... So I don't want to sound jaded, but this image appears to just be Zephyr sketching in ZBrush. What parts of this image are concept versus actual game image? But there's like a lot of people writing like... well, are you done yet? There's an 11-year-old post.
Nope.
And then, so here's the thing. And I'm glad that I found the actual comment. This game received a moniker.
Oh?
It was known on Reddit, not as the 100%, the dragon, oh my god, it's such a convoluted thing. The thing is, she says, it's a science-based 100% dragon MMO. That is just a string of words. That means nearly nothing. If you say a science-based dragon MMO, that almost means something. You know what I mean? What does a science-based dragon MMO even mean? But what is a science-based 100% dragon MMO? What does that mean? But anyway, it wasn't known as you can Google right now, science-based 100% dragon MMO, and this page will come up, like the Reddit post. But one of the comments says, ... How much of this revolves around dragon fucking? And the author replied. She said, the leveling system is based around continuing your bloodline, so most of it. Dragon breeding sounds a little more refined.
It does sound lightly more refined.
Dragon breeding?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, what's the game that's out where it's like dragons... It's like World of Dragons or something, and you can breed your dragons like that and make. I get
Dragon Veil. It's an atrocious phone game that is very addictive, and no one should touch it.
Yeah, like most of them are.
Yeah. Unless you want to sponsor us, in which case I will sell out to you because I like your stupid dragons.
I mean, but they have such grandiose ideas even right off the bat. She says, would you rather play a game that caps your top level or you can progress infinitely or indefinitely? So like indefinite leveling, no level cap. And like every time you level up, presumably you get stronger.
Maybe it's selecting for different traits. It's more like a breeding simulator than an actual playing as a magic dragon that's burning down villages.
Maybe
Maybe that was her goal instead of whatever trash is sitting there on your phone.
so, but a lot of people also called this out as being fake. Like one of these comments says, "Seriously, Reddit, you're so freaking easy to manipulate. Look again at the picture and at the almost zero useful info in the very long title and ask yourself, does this really deserve such a high score?" Which seems like they're just a little salty that this person got top billing on r/gaming and they didn't. But someone says, like they pinpoint it, and it says, "Dear Internet, 26-year-old lady, science-based, dragon, MMO, 3D, wish me luck, Reddit. First thing I thought was Reddit is going to fucking explode over this." And so I guess like one of the common theories was that this was a crafted post to get to the front of r/gaming as a goof. Because if you saw the image, if you didn't, I'm sorry, but it is truly baffling. You cannot show somebody that and say that it's concept art for your game that's going into beta.
No, it's nowhere close to being ready for anything being released.
I expect higher quality from NFTs, as sad as that is to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weirdly, jarringly just nothing. You know? It's just green on green.
It looks almost photoshopped.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, for sure. Or, like, not even Photoshop. You know what I mean? Like, the weird...
Adobe.
Or, like, whatever that weird... Like, they probably made the dragon... bits, you know, like the dragons, and then just plopped them in as like an add-on in that whatever. You know what I mean? Those images in the software for landscaping, those images were probably taken directly from that software as screen grabs. Like, I don't think that they like rendered a place and then put the dragons on over. I think that like they put them. I don't know how they did it, but it just looks so strange to me. Everything's weirdly flat, yet it has a weird bit of dimension to it.
It's got some uncanny energy to it, that's for sure.
It's a fever dream of an image. It is an absolute mental flashbang to look at. It's like it fills me with fear in a way. Is that weird to say? It makes me like almost afraid. Like the dragon doesn't have eyes. It's like a horse's skull on a dragon body.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you were to render the dragon's skeleton before you bothered doing anything else, and then just made it green. Here's what dragons are going to look like on the inside, because that's what you want to know, right?
All that to be said, she never made the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
So the game...
I'd be playing it if it was real.
The game went through many stages, and she actually, if I can find it, it's hard to get to from what I read, but I saw images of the art. She actually had like art where she had obviously been tracing over things, you know what I mean, but still like her actual art was pretty good. If I can find some, I'll put them up. But I mean, like, she had talent, and she had the problem was she was extremely ambitious. Her concept was you started as a dragon, and there were different dragons of different kinds from different areas. So there's like a swamp dragon and a forest dragon and an ice dragon and a high mountains dragon. Oh, you know? Yeah. So you pick your dragon, and then you go and you breed and you make another dragon. So, but then you run into my first query, my first problem. If all of the dragon, and like, I'm not, maybe there were NPCs, right? But if it's an MMO, So if everyone's playing a dragon and you need to mate with a dragon, are you mating with a player?
I mean, probably.
Like, is that the
You're going
aspect of the
back to
game?
the breeding cave to get the best numbers. Maybe.
So that brings up, then isn't that a little weird? I mean, I think so. And maybe I'm not the game's target audience, right? And that's what I think the problem is. But if I'm playing like a game, and you tell me that in order for me to level up, I need to go find another player and initiate
A
smash to do it, I'm gonna be a little off put by that. Is that fair?
That sounds valid. I feel like that wouldn't be the only way, but
I don't
I'm
want to
sure it
knock
would occur.
the idea.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's more aligned to a single player experience. I don't know. And my thing here is I think that what had happened is she fell into a thing that happens commonly with writers, is she attempted to flesh out every single aspect of her world, which is, for an MMO, almost a necessity, right? I mean, you need a lot of things to do and a lot of things going on in an MMO. And a lot of, this was her first game, mind you, and she was like, I'm going to make this game. This is my magnum opus, which I commend having a dream. But to start with an MMO seems a bit rough, right? I mean, an MMO, don't they require 24-hour maintenance to run an MMO?
Pretty much.
I mean,
I feel
like
server banks and all sorts of other shit that you have to deal with. That's just more than a one-person job for sure.
On top of bug fixes.
Oh my god. Speaking of that, there's one game out there right now that's real good and has a lot of bugs so far.
Oh, is it the new Zelda?
Diablo 4.
Oh, yeah. Aaron's been talking my ear off about Diablo 4.
I want to get it so bad.
I do too.
But I keep hearing about all the garbage that's happening to it.
I played the crap out of 3.
Me too.
Diablo 3 was great.
That's the kind of MMO style that I enjoy. But
yeah,
there's very few of them that are actually successful and good.
Yeah. It's hard to capture... It's hard to capture the right feel for an MMO. I'll tell you a fond memory of an MMO I have. We'll round this out with a good one.
Yeah, something wholesome.
Did you ever play? Were you one to play computer games ever? Get on the computer and play browser games?
Sometimes.
Did you ever play Adventure Quest Worlds?
Is that the Penguins?
No, that's Club Penguin. I played that one too. Adventure Quest Worlds was an MMO that was browser based, and it was essentially it was a fantasy adventure. You picked a class.
Was it turnstile? You had a bunch of buttons you click, and then you hit them, and then they hit you.
And then you had to click and point where you wanted your guy to walk, and you would go and you would talk to. And the thing is that it was 2D, and I loved the art style, and everyone was kind of blocky. It wasn't for some reason, and this was years and years ago, but I really like games that have their own definitive art style, or this is what everybody looks like. That I don't know. It's more interesting to me than not the classic, but the more common now, where everything is trying to be super realistic. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I
like that.
I look back on the Adventure Quest World's art style fondly, but yeah, I mean, you picked a class, you did quests. You got rewards. There was a membership that you could pay for. I think when I finally paid for a membership, I was in middle school by that point. But I played that for a long, long time. I played that game a lot, and it was really, really fun. The art style is very similar to the art style of Fable. If you imagine Fable 1.
I love Fable.
The Fable 1 is one of the best games ever created.
By far.
I will say that right now.
As far as an adventure storyline goes,
yeah,
one of my favorite games ever.
You take a kid and you put a controller in their hands and say, this is Fable, play this, they're going to have a fucking blast.
It still holds up pretty well, too.
It's such a magical experience. It does. It really does. I love Fable. I still have it downloaded. Fable 1 is still downloaded on my Xbox. I'll probably play it now that we're talking about it.
I've got it on Steam.
Mm.
I've got all the badges.
Show me your Steam.
So steamy.
Oh.
Love you, Steam. Thanks for supporting my addiction.
All your sales.
Ugh.
So many sales.
Love their dumb sales.
But yeah, man. If I could go back and play Adventure Quest Worlds on the browser again, I would. And I would waste a couple hours clicking things, and like it had its own music. It had like little cutscenes. It was crazy for like a browser game. I would play it at school, dude. I got in trouble a couple times for playing it in the computer lab when like I wasn't supposed to be playing games. I'm over there clicking with my little rogue. He's got 2 daggers, and I feel like the sickest dude in the world. I'm clicking jellies and skeletons.
You were just the guy to do that too.
Oh yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah,
I see it so clearly.
I did it a lot.
Busted in computer tech. You're supposed to be doing some accounting bullshit, and you're like, no, I'm going to slay the slime.
I got a slime to slay because if I get another level in Sorcerer, you know what I mean? Like, there were crazy classes. And you could do, like, multi-class stuff. Like, you could be more than one class. And so at one point, I was a rogue and, like, some sort of magic user, and it was super fun. And then there was a pirate class. I did that for a while. And then there was a ninja class. And, like, the cool thing was, like, your character could just have all of these levels and other classes, and you could swap them out at any point. You didn't have to make another character. So, like...
I like that.
I had my character, and I'm like, oh, I feel like playing the pirate class and, like, doing some leveling in that. And so I equipped the pirate class, put on my pirate armor, and I'm a pirate now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was fun. And I think that is a thing that is missing from games now that a lot more games should have. I want to be able to change my class at will, like, and level them at the same time. I like Skyrim a lot because you can kind of do that. You can just stop. If I'm like, oh, I'm going to level one-handed, I guess switch my standing stone. I stop casting magic, and I'm just hitting things with swords for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you played Kingdom of Amular?
No. That's an epic name. Kingdom of Amular?
It is an epic name.
The Kingdom of Amular.
Basically, main character dies right off the bat, and then is reincarnated against the tides of fate. And he basically goes back through to fight, like, basically your standard weird fantasy storyline, like the Dark Elves go bad and they start to take over, and he's got to do all this stuff. But one of the cool things about him, since he's kind of pulled out of the weave of fate, is that you can reskin him to be whatever at any point you're playing.
Oh.
If you want to, like, take all of your points that you've accrued and put them into twin dagger fighting stuff, you can do that. Or you can be like, nah, I'm getting bored of this. I'm going to be a wizard now. Then you can reincarnate yourself again, basically, and then be a full-on wizard now.
That's cool.
And it doesn't stop your, like, game progression or any of that.
Right.
Like, you'll come across a weapon in the wild and be like, oh, man, I'm not a freaking paladin. I can't use this. But wait.
What if?
What if I was?
That is really cool.
Check it out. Check it out.
Overall, you know, games are really fun, but they can also be a really tough endeavor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess the common sense for this episode, right?
Buzzword, please.
I guess I don't even know what a good one is. I guess if you're gonna take a bunch of money from people, try to finish the thing.
Yeah. People want what they pay for.
Yeah. That's my common sense. And not to throw shade, I just think that if we can harken back to the beginning of the episode, that's so much money. $500,000. Come on, man.
That would do a lot. That would do a lot.
These are YouTube subscribers giving you $500,000 and you can't make a Minecraft clone with your little red bearded man in it? That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted. There were tiers that were like thousands of dollars, by the way, that people paid for. Thousands of dollars for this Yogscast game. Thank you for listening. If you want to listen more, you should. I have a plethora of other videos on available on our YouTube channel or on Spotify if that's more your style. You can find us there. I'll put the links on the screen. They're right there, and they're really pretty. But yeah, Jeremiah, I appreciate you coming and listening to my rants.
That's what I do.
It
This is just like a normal thing for us.
This is just another day. We just got microphones in front of us this time.
Still tied to the chair naked, but
Well, I mean,
that's also a normal thing for us.
I'm gonna go get the oil, and then we're gonna. But you know that'll be for the Patreon. If you want to hear about that, you can
Yeah,
subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, if you subscribe to the Patreon, then I'll do all sorts of weird art things for you. I've got an abundance of talent to draw random things in weird poses.
It is a very nice talent.
It's a weird one, but it comes in handy.
Little bit of a drop. We did make a Patreon. I don't think I've said it yet on an episode, but I will put that in on the screen as well. Woo! Official Uncommon Nonsense Patreon. I have a couple plans for things to go up there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of really spicy content that you can't really put on YouTube because it will get demonetized and age restricted to hell. So, with that being said, I appreciate all of your beautiful ears and eyes if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Give us a comment, a rate, any kind of feedback. If you want to tell me that I am smelly and I talk too much, I would love to hear it. I mean, throw me a comment,
Anything you got to say. We're here to listen.
Yeah,
and then talk more.
Yeah, I'm here to read your thing, acknowledge it for a moment in my head, and then move on. Unless it's really cool, and I'll pin it and give it like one of the little hearts,
Oh, that's cute. Yeah,
I do that.
Do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I guess we'll see you next time on Uncommon Nonsense with Colin Payne.
With Colin Payne.
Oh.
Nonsense.
It's so nonsensical.
So nonsensical.
And so get
real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on?
All right, sorry.
That's the outro.
Thank you guys for watching.